Yeah, 60 on it. Yep, Lowe's Vert. We going all the way up. Yeah. We gonna turn this bitch all the way up. Hey, Brandon, yeah. I'm on the block with that heavy, on the block with that heavy. Watch out for cops that pull up in them Chevys. Whip out the crack, my main trap, her name Betty. These niggas don't want no smoke on my body. Gucci and Louis can't do no Zanatti. Bad bitch on me look like she hang with Kylie. I used to fuck with a bitch, hang with Kylie. On the real, I think that bitch live in Cali. My boy shot the pot of the flower that Kylie. Yeah. I could've been a stylist. I remember when the boys used to dollars. I got a girl that trap like she from Dallas. I got so much money, need an accountant. She said
Hello guys, welcome to the Sideline Search. We're back at it again with NFL episode after the Thanksgiving week, which was exciting enough. And we have our new host over here who is above me here, Mr. Lorenzo Fragomeno, out here with the big back Thanksgiving week. We got it to, I think. Which Thanksgiving game do you guys want to cover first? The Bears-Lions game?
Oh,
Do we
Yeah,
really
can
want to
go
talk
in
about
order
that?
how it went out. Let's
Do
go
we
in
really
order
want to talk
how the
about
schedule
this?
played.
I was watching that, bro. Eric, Eric was so depressed. He was so confused. Like, what? What's happening? What? Bro, that
I
was
was
the weirdest.
yeah,
That was like the most anticlimactic ending to a game I've ever seen.
yeah. I was watching it, man. It was like, what are they doing? Like,
Like,
that's why they fired the coach because he's
I feel
retarded.
so bad for the Bears too, because their division is like fucking hell right now.
Yeah. It's not fair.
All the teams except
It's
them,
the best
all the
division
other
right
three
now.
teams are above 9 wins.
Yeah, it's insane. The
And they
Vikings are
almost beat the Lions,
almost, but Lions
which is
played their
insane.
probably worst game of the year, other than the
yeah,
loss.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, bro. Lions did not play to the best of
They
their
didn't play good at
ability,
all.
bro. It was honestly bad on both sides, bro. Keenan Allen should not have that many freaking receptions, if we're being honest. That man
I
has 2
saw
touchdowns, so like, come on, bro.
too, like Eberflus, the coach, got fired literally like day
Right
after.
after, yep.
Bro,
And you know
not
what's
even
really funny?
24 hours after.
I think personally that the Bears need to like give it a minute. I think the Bears need to commit to a coach even if they have a losing season
Mhm,
because they've gotten
mhm.
3 straight years with different coaches. And like
Yeah.
each quarterback that they've like drafted or got onto the team to like, try to make them a franchise quarterback, like they'll be like, oh, it's the next quarterback. We had Trubisky. He wasn't a bust, but the Bears didn't have the best year. Fired the coach, Trubisky went to the Steelers. Then we had Caleb Williams. I mean, not Caleb Williams, my bad. Justin Fields came on,
Justin
high,
Fields.
high drafted player, didn't do well first year.
The Steelers again.
Immediately gave up on the coach and gave Justin Fields to the Steelers. Now Caleb Williams comes on, and now the coach has been fired in the middle of the season, and this is the first time that the Bears have done this in basically like 100 years of their history.
Yeah, I
So
saw
like
that.
now like Caleb Williams to Steelers, I guess. Like I don't. It's so strange to me.
Yeah,
It's like, and Caleb
that's
Williams, like, I think has been the best quarterback. I don't think Trubisky was that bad. I think Trubisky was mediocre, obviously, like a backup quarterback, like potential, but he wasn't like atrocious. And Justin Fields has
mhm.
been seeing like better days on the Steelers now. But I think the Bears need to like start committing to a coach because they can't just keep doing like this like roulette that they're doing with coaches. It's like weird. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, Lions had a bad game. They
Yeah,
still won, which
yeah,
is insane. But like,
yeah. I feel like yeah, I
it
was
is what it
stupid. Wasn't
is.
like 20.
Just
That's
keep
what
going.
happened
This
is
happens all the time.
Trust me.
like, all right. What do you say? Was it? Oh, that wasn't there like there was like 20. There was 20 something seconds left, and they got a first down. And I
Yeah,
believe I don't remember, but
they
they
had
had
a
some
timeout.
timeouts, right?
They
Yeah,
had
they had
two
a
or
time,
one timeout. They still had
and
at
I was
least
so
one timeout.
surprised. I know, and I don't know what happened if the offensive coordinator, like didn't
No, it was the coach. It was really the coach.
as a
Nah,
coach.
you, bro, you can literally watch back that whole clip. You can literally see Caleb Williams literally trying to rush and trying to figure out what plays to call and all types of stuff on the line. Why yet, literally, the head coach, bro, he was literally, you could literally see him in the clip. He's just sitting there chilling the whole time. Like, come on now. At some point, you gotta make the business decision. Literally, call a timeout. You had
As a
more than enough
coach, you got
time
to
to
call it.
call it.
Yeah.
it's common.
Like, you
It's
literally
sense,
have to
bro.
call that.
Were
Like
they
Yeah,
in
that's
common
field
not
goal
on
sense.
range
Caleb
or
Williams,
no?
bro.
They
They were
were.
almost there, bro. Like,
I mean,
literally
even
a
then,
a
like,
few more yards, they were there.
I mean, even then,
They were,
I think you'll
man.
still give your kicker a chance to at least kick that long field goal. Like, you call a timeout, you try a passing play to get
Not
yardage, and if
even.
it's incomplete, then you just
Yeah.
like kick the
Yeah,
field
exactly.
goal. Like, you just
You
take a
had
few
so
seconds
you
off
had,
the
you had
clock.
time. You had so
But
much
it
time.
was because of the sack. Like, Caleb Williams got sacked, and I think that kind of threw the whole team off.
Guess to just
All right,
shake
but
him up,
still,
but
bro,
either
you
way,
literally
that
had
was unacceptable, bro.
about 30 seconds left, bro.
The
That's
Yeah,
poor
bro.
OC too,
that's
bro.
more than enough time, bro.
The poor
Way more
offensive
than enough
coordinator
time.
who got fired, man. Like, the OC got
He got
fired, and
fired
then
too?
literally, like,
Oh damn.
no. The OC had already been fired like earlier this year, and now it's like, oh my God, he wasn't the problem type of thing. Like, it's crazy. I mean, whatever. The other games, like, I don't even want to talk about Cowboys winning. I hate the Cowboys, and the Giants are
Bro,
not good. The Giants are
that
not
was
good.
probably
Let us not even talk about it.
that was the worst game to watch in my life, bro.
And then
Having so
Dolphins and
many family
Packers.
members come over for Thanksgiving, they're Cowboys fans, that made me so mad, bro.
Bruh.
It's bro, that actually pisses me off. All you see is them in a freaking corner just cheering every time a play happens, bro. I wanted to say something so bad.
And then Dolphins and
Okay.
Packers, like whatever. It's
Let's skip that
standard.
subject.
The Packers are a good team. Like, just period.
Okay,
Just
they
move on.
are, but we could have we have the
Listen, the
one of the
NFC North is
best.
scary. Like, all three of those teams could be in the playoffs
Break
this
that,
year.
bro.
Like, that's scary.
It's
Like, you could have
it's just
two NFC
annoying.
North wildcard games, bro. That's insane to me.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just annoying that we have the best offensive weapons. We have Raheem. I know he's getting a little older, but Devon is, A-Chain is a dog. He's very fast, very
Yeah.
strong, right? And we got the speed, right? We got the two fastest wide receivers. Not Jalen Wall is probably not up there like Tyreek Hill, but Jalen Wall is fast, right? We know that. And we got Tua with his accuracy. It's just I don't know what's going on. There's certain plays I'm watching, and it's like retarded calls that McDaniel's calling, like
Yeah.
screen plays on
Oh,
a 3rd and 9. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why are we
bro.
not? Because I realize every time we do a passing play over the middle, it's a first down. It's a first down. It's a first. We started doing that in the 4th quarter when. Why are you doing it now? And
Yeah.
we're doing it late. We were right there at the 1-yard line, and then obviously we didn't score. But it's that we have these weapons, and this year is a worst year. It's a worst year for everyone. Tyreek's worst year in his career. Waddle's worst year in his career. It's just awful. And what happened at the start of the season with the arresting, and then then Tua getting a concussion.
CTE.
Yeah, terrible year for the Dolphins. But
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where you just take your losses and move on. I mean,
I
Miami
would
fair.
on
never
the
let
bright
Like
this.
side, the
Rod
rest of the
said.
division is ass. So like,
It is though,
besides the
bro.
Bills,
Jets
obviously,
bad. New York. I mean,
like
It's
at
not
least you're still
even a
second place.
division. That this is the problem. It's not even a division thing, bro. We can literally go back to every single play of those games, and you can see that Mike
point them
McDaniel
out.
has literally called
Yes.
the worst plays
Yeah.
possible.
Yes.
They even said
Yes.
it. The OC
Yes.
barely even
Yes.
calls any offensive plays. How you have
Yes.
an OC and you don't even actually use him? That's the crazy
Yes.
part. And then you
Yeah.
have Madden, Happy Meal, McDonald's over here trying to call it whatever these bullets plays, bro. Like,
Daniels.
come on, like
Yes,
that
bro.
makes no
Yes.
sense, bro. If you actually know how the team's supposed to work, our OC and the head coach are supposed to be working together. Same thing with
Did
DC.
we?
That's literally how it's supposed to work. I refuse to have
Yeah.
my head coach be calling all these plays like that, bro. You're not Andy Reid,
Yeah.
bro. Just go sit down, bro.
No. Nah, bro. For real. Did we get a new
Speaking of
OC?
Andy Reid, did we get a new OC? Smosh?
I know we got a new DC, and our defense is coming clutch this year. Our offense just sucks.
We got a
But-
new OC and they're not even using
We
it.
did. Okay. Well, he sucks. So.
Speaking of Andy Reid, let me do my transition.
Speaking of Andy Reid.
Speaking of Andy Reid, Chiefs game. Bro, this fumble, bro. This fumble.
bro.
Oh my God.
Bowers.
That center had money on the game because how do you hike the ball when the quarterback wasn't even looking at you, bro? He wasn't even
That
ready.
boy-
He wasn't even looking. That boy,
That man is
that
behind
boy.
the line of scrimmage. That boy calling plays. That boy making sure everybody right. That boy hikes the ball. What
Like
type of CFB 25 Madden
you cut,
23 type of BS is
dude.
this?
You get cut over that, man. You actually get. I'm so
Alright,
mad that like
go on, take him
Chiefs.
out.
If
Take him out.
those games they've had like the most close games like ever in the history of NFL. Like if they do not win those games, they'd be like 5-7 right now. Like literally, it's
No,
insane how
bro.
lucky they're
Their
getting.
record would be opposite right now. They would be 1-10.
Like how do you
Bills was the
almost
only
lose to
game
the
that they could
Raiders,
like.
bro?
Come on, bro.
How do you almost lose to the
Nah,
Panthers and
for real.
Raiders in consecutive weeks? Like that's insane.
Nah, for real.
And then you were close to losing to Denver a few weeks before that. Come on, bro. Like
This is insane.
Yeah.
they have an easy trip to the play. Like I've never seen this before.
They do.
And all the years of me being on this earth, never have I seen one
Being
team
on this earth.
make it that easy to playoffs just because of these calls, bro. That's
Even
honestly
like
insane.
Patriots at least had some competition. Like this is insane.
Bro, it's literally it's one thing for you to have like a few refs on your side because we've seen that with Tom Brady. That's happened
Yeah.
before. But
Like that's a
it's get to
superstar
a point
effect.
to where the whole league is on your side. That's bad, bro. That really ruins your legacy, bro. Because everyone wants to compare him to Tom Brady and all that, but yet how easy he's had it is honestly insane, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee they make it to playoffs.
They've
They're
had
probably gonna win one game and then they're gonna lose right after that.
yeah.
But I
I
mean,
guarantee
They've
you,
had
bro.
one of the easiest schedules in the NFL.
you gotta give some credit to the Chiefs management. Like Andy Reid. Look. Andy Reid is gonna go down as like one of the greatest coaches in like the history of the NFL.
I don't
Just
like that boy.
plain
at
and
all.
simple. And Patrick Mahomes, like regardless of like, he's still somewhat good, even if he's not amazing like we think. Like he's probably gonna retire a Chief. Like I don't think he's gonna leave
He's
the
the
Chiefs
GOAT
anytime
status.
soon.
It's not even a skill thing, bro. It's the fact that bro, it could be a game where it's not even Mahomes even in the game,
Yeah,
and somebody would say that's a little Mahomey. That's like
yeah.
Mahomes. That's like this. Come on, bro.
Like
And
he's
we've seen so
cemented his
many play.
reputation, bro.
Is that bro? He is literally in the dirt, like he's literally the roots to a tree right now, bro. That's how bad it is. So it's like, come on, bro. I understand you have the skill. I'm not taking away your skill or anything,
Yeah.
but the fact that you were that favorite of a player to where a team that shouldn't even be with this record right now
The
that has
marketing
no
has just
star, that
been
has
good.
almost no star
Marketing has
players.
just been
You
good.
literally hold on. This is nothing. You literally have nobody but Travis Kelce, D Hop, not even Juju Smith because he's barely hurt. And then you
Yeah.
have Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice hurt.
Hey, that's a
Freaking
good. That's a
Mecole
very good
Hardman.
Isaiah
offensive
Mecole
Pacheco
Hardman
just
barely even
came
gets hurt.
back.
And then exactly, he just came back. And you telling me you still have that same record? Come on, bro. Let's be
Yeah,
But like
real.
Kareem
no,
Hunt
man.
isn't
Like,
bad. Kareem Hunt isn't bad. Kareem Hunt is
bro,
like a
He's
Kareem
pretty
Hunt
not.
has barely done these past few weeks. He's barely done anything.
barely done anything, but like
Yeah, but he's not bad.
he's not
though.
bad.
He's still good. He's
Like
still
Bro,
Kareem
good
he's
Hunt
running back.
still, when you need Kareem Hunt to move the ball, he will move the ball.
He can. Yeah.
absolutely.
But like
But
he's one of
it's
those
the
like
problem
strong running
where
backs where you just need like 2 or 3 yards with him each play.
is
That's why you needed
it's
Isaiah
bro
Pacheco back.
that's is this the overall thing. NFL is NFL. You're a pro. You made it to the best football league in the world. You're there. The skill is not even a problem. Everybody has skill in NFL. 100%. If you don't, I'm
Mhm.
still there. You're about to be like Kadarius Tony freaking dropping passes and now you're not even there anymore. That we're
Yeah.
not talking about that. It's the fact that politics has taken over the game, bro. That's what the problem is. Because
Wait, I'm
you
losing the
cannot
plot
tell
here.
me you literally cannot tell me that
Yeah, me
Mahomes
too. Hold on.
Mahomes and the Chiefs have this record right now, even with all those bad calls.
Yeah, they
They
shouldn't.
even minus the bad, like all those calls, even if they called them, they should not have been this close to winning those games. And I'll give credit to their defense a little bit, but it's the fact that there's been teams that have performed better, and then yet now they're barely losing to the Chiefs. Like that's the problem. That makes no sense because that's like you having Eagles, Commanders, Ravens, Lions,
Yeah.
or we
Ooh.
can even say Packers or Bears. You feel me? And then they go against Chiefs, and then Chiefs somehow win just because of a BS call. That's the problem. Because like, bro, this is literally determining people making it to the playoffs. This isn't CFV where it's 12 freaking teams that are basically voted in. That's not how it works, bro. It literally depends on what your record is and who you've played. There's literally teams still in the hunt right now that have horrible
I
records.
think. I
Dolphins
think
are still in the hunt
NFL
right
is.
now, and yet they just lost. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. NFL is more of just record though. Like I don't think it's the strength of schedule how you get in the playoffs. Like you could have, let's say the Bears, if they had a bad like schedule and they're like 10-2 right now. You know they'll they're gonna make the playoffs if they continue winning. In college football, it's a lot more dangerous if you lose a game, because if you lose a game, it hurts a lot. But in NFL, it's different. Like, you just gotta, number one, you gotta win your division, and then just keep winning games. Come on, man. Because if you win your division, doesn't matter if you're 7-8. If you win your division, it's just like the Bucks in the NFC South. They're not a good division at all. But if I think a couple years ago, when like the Bucks had a losing record, a close to losing record, and they still made the playoffs because they
Yeah.
won the division. But yeah, I agree with what Samaj is saying, bro.
Trust me, bro. We've seen politics enter the game heavy ever since Colin Kaepernick, bro. Ever since that moment
Yeah.
happened, we've literally seen politics take over NFL. Because think about it, the team
Because
that
they started
he was
treating it more like
on
a business. That's why.
and that's the
Oh,
It's
it
run
problem.
is.
more like a
'Cause
business. But like,
Oh yeah.
honestly, to give credit to the Chiefs, they have really marketed Mahomes well. Like, they've marketed him well, and
They
he is
marketed
the
the
face of
coach
the
well.
league
He's
right
in
now
every
because of
yeah.
how they market it. Like, that's just good business, especially for, like, if I'm being honest here, like Kansas City, like it's cornfields. Like, there's nothing there. It's not a traditionally big market, and the administration has done a good job in marketing him, and especially like the league has done a good job in marketing him. I think I wouldn't put it up to corruption. I think they've just gotten really lucky. Like, I do believe in luck, and I think they've gotten extremely lucky. But if the Chiefs want, this is like the best chance for the Chiefs to cement a legacy, even if it's not exactly the most like nice legacy. Like, it's still a legacy, and they can really cement it here if they lock in. Like, if they get healthy again by the time playoffs come around. Like, I personally, like, I'm not a Chiefs fan. Like, I wish they wouldn't be winning. But like, from an objective standpoint, like, if they take these chances that are literally like miracles from God right now happening, um like, they could really cement their legacy. Like, they're getting lucky, and they just gotta realize that their luck's gonna run out eventually, and they need to actually play well, especially Mahomes, because like his quarterback stats aren't like great right now. But like, for example, like this Raiders game, like that last play, that was not the ref's fault or anything. Well, kind of with the false start, but like, come on, like you should not be hiking that ball, period. Like, the refs would have saved the Raiders in that scenario, even if they made like the wrong call or whatever. Like, in the first place, you should not be hiking the ball like that. Like, that's just a player mistake in the first place. But I mean, whatever.
but
Like, it is what it is.
but if you think about it, that's literally the only game that where it's not something on the refs. That's literally the only game that has
The
happened
Panthers game
compared
was
to
low-key not on the refs. The Panthers game was not really on the
it
refs.
was
But still,
I'll
like,
watch that. Trust me, I'll watch the highlights, bro. There were so many plays where calls were not made. Trust me. It's just the fact that it so happened to be where Chiefs did have a few moments where they did false start. They have or even offside stuff like that
yeah,
throughout the game. But it's just the fact that it's on the center. That's the problem. If that didn't happen, and then yet Raiders still lost, and then now we could
yeah.
have like held back a little bit. You feel me? Like it wouldn't be so much on the Chiefs because at least they somewhat did good. It's the fact that like, come on, bro. You put the Raiders against any other team, they will freaking get whooped
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
easily. So it's like you cannot give the Chiefs that much credit just because they're beating all these other teams that have gotten whooped by other teams already. Like that's the only problem.
They're
But
definitely gonna
I
go
don't
into
know.
the playoffs with like a lot of doubts on their name. Like, everyone's gonna be like looking at them weird. Like, no one's gonna really bet on them much. Because like,
So,
if they
so
go against like an actually good team, like they
Yeah.
have every chance to like fail.
I
that
mean, you saw what happened against the Bills. I mean, I
yeah,
think
I
Yeah,
was about to say that.
literally like the
yeah.
Bills.
My bad,
Like,
Mars. My bad.
if they get, I doubt that they'll get the first round bye because like the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bills are still like coming
Mm,
like creeping up behind. But like,
Steelers doing too
even
good
if they
right
get
now.
a first round bye, like that's just gonna set them up for like an even more pressure like game. Like, it's gonna be a high
I don't
pressure game
know.
regardless.
Yeah, I think actually though, who might get the first round bye is the Bills, because they have two losses, right? The Bills. Yeah, they have two losses.
Yeah,
Um, the Ravens just lost against the Eagles, which was an amazing game yesterday. I know we're not gonna talk about that, but just knock your soul.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I think Bills are gonna for sure get the first round, and then Chiefs will probably get second seed.
Yeah, the Chiefs will
Um,
probably lose one more game, and then the Bills will win every
yeah.
other
Let
game.
me check the
Yeah.
rest of the schedule. Let me check that real quick.
While you check that,
But
the
Bills
other
are
two
looking
close
really good.
games, the other two close games that happened on Sunday, well, like the first two close games that happened on Sunday were Colts Patriots, which I think that was an exciting game for like, I mean, relatively rookie quarterbacks. But like, we don't really gotta go into that. They're not big games. Those teams are not doing extremely well this year. The Cardinals and the Vikings, which I mean, I'm telling you, like the Vikings are a good team. Like we know the NFC North is stacked, but I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
the NFC West, even though they don't have like the best record, they're all competitive. Like the Cardinals, the Rams, the Niners, even though they're hurt, and the Seahawks are all pretty competitive teams. And I think the record shows a bad image of the NFC West because in reality, those are all really competitive teams that at any point in time they can really like show out. It's like the Cardinals almost beat the Vikings. The Vikings came back, and that's
Oh,
not to take away credit from
yeah,
the Vikings
no.
because the Vikings are a good team. But like we saw the Rams against like um the Eagles, like even though the Eagles won, like the Rams are still doing well. Like the Rams are not a bad team. Same with the
They're not. They
Seahawks team.
just
Like
had
they
a
beat
lot
the
of
Jets.
injuries this year.
They came back from a 21-7 game. Like the Seahawks are still competitive and we're at the top of the division right now. So like you can't the NFC West and
Yeah.
then the NFC North are like the two divisions that are like really competitive. Besides like the Bears,
Yeah.
sadly, but like what are you gonna do?
Mm. I mean, I think the Seahawks are getting really lucky. Not lucky. Yeah, no, I think they are
I
because 49ers
Yeah,
have a lot of
it's luck.
injuries,
It's a
you
lot of
know,
luck and it's a
and
lot of like defensive. Like our defense is good on turnovers and stuff like that. And like
yeah, you guys have a really good defense. A
I always say this,
young
we're like a
defense.
second quarter team. Like there's no such thing as a no stress win for us. Like literally there like every game is stressful because like
Oh yeah.
it takes us a second, like literally. Like I can't defend them.
Yeah.
It's tough. But anyways,
Well,
co-
I was looking at the Chiefs' rest of the schedule, and next week they got the Chargers, which they'll most likely win. But I think it'll be a good game because you looked at the Panthers and Raiders, you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna kill them. No, they didn't.
yeah,
They beat them by 3. They beat the Raiders by 2. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But then later in the December 21st, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is the Texans. That's gonna be a really good game, I think. The Texans, because
I don't know. The Texans haven't been
CJ,
playing great.
I think they'll pick it up though by
I
December
mean,
21st.
Wait, hold off on
Texans
the
are
Texans. Hold
on
off
their
on the Texans.
Texans are on
We'll
their
get to the
downfield
Texans.
right
We'll
now,
get to the
so
Texans. We'll
we'll
get to the
we'll talk
Texans.
about that in a little bit.
First, Commanders, Titans. Commanders beat out the Titans. Obviously, we expected that. Chargers,
Oh,
Falcons. We were
whoop
just talking about the
that.
Chargers. Chargers
Yeah.
are kind of like on an up and down, I feel, where like some
Mhm.
weeks they'll come in and like look really good and other weeks like against the Falcons they'll look really bad. Like the Falcons fell off. Like in all reality, the Falcons fell off.
They're
And the
doing
fact that the
good.
Chargers
Yeah.
did only beat them by 4 is like the Chargers gotta lock
Yeah.
in. Like they're gonna lose Jay Herb, which is like I think good talent, and they haven't developed him right. But like
Mhm.
whatever. Texans Jaguars, like let's get into it. We saw that hit on Trevor Lawrence. Like prayers up for him. But like we had those CFB
Yeah.
fights and now we had like this huge brawl that happened
It happened
because
right
of that
after
hit.
all the fights in
Did
CFB,
you
man.
think what did you
Mm.
think of that hit? Do you think that was a clean like a relatively clean hit or like obviously it was a dirty hit, but like do you think he was wrong in the way that he went for the hit? Like what do you think happened in that
I'm
hit?
not showing no signs of sympathy towards Trevor Lawrence, bro. First off, you're literally not even within like probably 15 feet of defense, right?
Yeah.
You know, as a quarterback, as soon as you get to either close to that first down mark, as soon as you get close to the end of that chain, or you're close to somebody else, that's when you slide. This man literally waited until he was already like probably 5 feet away from him to slide. That's not what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. That's literally
He
bound to
slid
happen.
really badly too. Like the
That
slide
is
was not
exactly
good.
like
Yeah.
that's literally bound to happen. I'm not saying he
And
deserved a concussion, all that. I'm
um,
not saying that, but it's like, come on, bro. As a freaking NFL quarterback, you know you're either gonna get clipped by somebody, so
yep,
you have to go low. That's what you have to do. You can't
Yeah.
freaking
yep.
wait until like 2 seconds before it to slide down. That's no, bro. That's bound
It
to
was a
happen.
bad hit. It was a bad hit. Like I don't blame like I saw D'Amico Ryans obviously stood by his player because like why wouldn't he? but like
Yeah.
that hit was it wasn't on
I
purpose
mean,
dirty, but like
he,
it
no, it
ended up
wasn't on
being
purpose.
pretty dirty.
He would
I feel bad for
apologize
Trevor
today.
Lawrence because that looked bad, but like I don't
He
think the player
apologized
was
today
at
on
fault.
social media,
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, like
but
that fight was no surprise. Like when a quarterback gets hit, your whole team's
yeah,
gonna like back you up.
you gotta defend your quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah. I saw
and
also
I
like
mean, it looked
someone threw a
bad.
water bottle at the player too
Yeah,
when he was
I
walking out the
mean,
field. But I mean,
yeah,
like the Texans, like how do they only beat the Jaguars by 3? That's my question.
This is gonna be the easiest answer for me.
mm,
Did I not say before the season started, the Texans they may have or have had playoff experience and all that. They may have been a good team, but I literally said this before season started. Once they get used to that, that's what's gonna hurt them
Yeah.
because then now they're gonna go against teams that have had way more playoff experience. Because this is pretty much a whole new Texans team. Like even the receivers or even linemen haven't been there for too long. So it's like that. That's pretty much a brand new Texans team. Everybody's still getting used to each other. The
Yeah.
problem is that they started to depend on
gosh
things that
damn
they
it.
shouldn't have depended on. Because when Nico got hurt, that's when you start to see Stroud struggle a little bit. Then you had Stephon Diggs get hurt out for the season. Now you see Stroud to struggle for a little bit. Now
Yeah.
you see him trying to use Tank Dell more, and now even Tank Dell's not performing the best because now teams know that you got to watch for him because now he's a star receiver on the field. That's the problem.
And they're starting to rely on Joe
Texans
Mixon.
But
and then
they
that too.
lost.
Texans have literally had everything that they needed at the beginning of the season, but they got big headed. And you could say that because we could see the same thing with the Lions. Lions have literally not made a playoff appearance in years until last year. They didn't get big
Hmm.
headed. That's why they're so
Yeah.
good and they're dominant right now. If Texans didn't do the same exact thing and they didn't rely on too many different pieces, then that's what really hurt them because they've had games where they should have blew teams out and they should have performed better, but they just haven't
I
Hmm.
done
mean,
anything that they should have.
it's
Yeah, the
tough with
Texans are
injuries
really
too.
off and on.
It's like the same thing with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers won in overtime like 26-23 against the Panthers. Now, like let's be
Yeah, the
honest here, the
Panthers.
Panthers have improved as a team a lot. Like I've seen a
Mm-hmm.
lot better from Bryce Young this year. But like it's the
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers have like a similar situation to the Texans where they lost like two of their start receivers and they're struggling. Like Baker Mayfield is still good, but like it's difficult when your team can't stay like healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
That's
Yeah, it
the
hurts a
problem
lot.
with now how you talking about management earlier. That's what the problem with management is. They're trying to rely on one single person. You can't rely
Yeah,
on Stroud the whole time, and you can't rely on Mayfield the whole time. You already we everybody already knew if either Evans got hurt or
Godwin.
what's his name? Or yeah, or Godwin got hurt, bro. We already knew he would have nobody else to throw to. So why not
Yeah.
freaking add pieces to the team? That's what
But
the
damn,
problem
like
is.
those injuries, like you can't predict that either,
Nah,
honestly.
not at all. But that's the whole point of you having a management team that stays on top of it. That's exactly
Yeah,
why you've seen teams that have had injuries and then they've immediately added somebody else right after to try to keep it going. That's literally exactly what happened
like
with
the
the
Bills
Chiefs.
and the Lions. Yeah,
The Chiefs have literally had multiple receivers get taken out in literally like probably 2 3 weeks, and then they started to add more people to the offense immediately. That's how it's supposed to
yeah,
work. That's what teams should have done. But now with the draft class being so fragile, everybody's trying to make sure they have that first round pick. That's why nobody traded.
yeah,
That was the mistake. Because even then,
Yeah.
you can't bet on somebody. You can't bet on a rookie too much to turn a whole program around. Because even then, he might not even get that much playing time. So it's like you with teams like the Bucks, and we can even say Panthers, we can say Texans, we can even say 49ers. Teams like those should have taken into account that before the season started, they should have tried to do as much as possible to try to elevate anything that they could have because you already know once it's like middle of the season, that's when every team starts trying their hardest to make playoffs, bro. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's why those teams should have at least tried to do something different. But it's just at the same time, injuries is hurting everybody. And bro, NFC
You
West
can't predict injuries either.
injuries literally hurt almost every team in NFC West, bro. We've seen it with
Yeah.
Injuries
Seahawks.
are team killers
Especially the
because
Niners.
We've it's like we've seen it with Niners and Rams, and then we almost seen it with
Yeah.
Cardinals. That hurts, but that's literally the whole point of you trying
Yeah,
to add
man.
somebody to set up
Yeah.
team. That's the point.
I imagine it's also difficult with like cap space issues, where like sometimes you just can't add people.
Huge,
Like
huge important.
you have roster limits, you have cap space limits, and you can't like you spend that money on players hoping that they don't get hurt, and if they get hurt, like you really can't do
Yeah.
anything about it. Like it is what it is. That it kind of comes as a risk. It's a risk factor. We see
And
like two healthy teams still, like the Steelers and the Bengals. The Bengals have been like their offense has been on point, but like their defense hasn't
Defense
been.
is not doing
Steelers
good
won
at all.
44-38, and like not to take away from the Steelers, like Mike Tomlin made a deal with the devil or something, but like the Bengals defense has been non-existent, literally. Like the Bengals have put up like a huge amount of points consistently against teams week after week, and their defense just can't stop like the other teams. Like the
Mm.
Bengals just lost by like 44-38. Like that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Joe Burrow, honestly.
I mean, it was bound to happen to
I don't know
Cincinnati,
if
to
it's a
be
hot
honest,
take,
because
but
this
Yeah,
like the only problem with Cincinnati though is that first off, you took way too long to try to pay Jamar Chase. You basically still didn't pay him because he's still waiting on that extension, and
yeah.
then you paid
yeah,
Joe Burrow way too much money. That's what hurts you, because that they got to realize you could be the star of the team, you could be the QB, you can get your $200 million contract and all that. That's cool, but you taking so much money and then completely forgetting about everything else is bound to happen, bro. Like
yeah.
that's what the thing with the Bengals is. They're not even a bad team. It's just the fact that they so happen to always have close games or losses
Yeah.
because they rely on one person too much. Jamar Chase be
Mhm.
burned out some games, bro. He would seem like he's still
I mean,
going off
he's
fourth
doing
quarter,
everything.
but and that's the problem though.
And I
That's
mean,
like
although I did see this week that like Chase Brown did a lot too for the Bengals. Like he showed out, but like still like the offense is doing everything that they can to stay in games, and the defense really cannot stop the offense. Like the defense is
but
horrible.
I mean, but even that's not even a skill thing though. It's more just like you have to consider the fact that you can't rely on two players the most. That's really like how it was with
Yeah,
49ers and Debo. Debo literally was like, dude, I'm doing everything, and then now you're not even finna give me
Yeah,
more money
bro.
for me. That's what the problem is, because you don't want it to be where that one player like Jamar Chase, he's doing everything, and then he's
yeah,
gonna get big headed and be like, okay, am I getting more money? Like what's going on with that? I'm like, you need to put money in
yeah,
my pocket. That's what the problem is. If they start
Just
to
like
try to
Saquon.
it's like Saquon, like bro, they have to spread the money evenly throughout, because then now
Mhm.
you everybody's not freaking big headed.
Yeah.
You have too
Yeah, you're
many
yeah,
gonna lose it.
QBs or players that are overpaid, and then yet now you got other people that are performing even better, and now they're getting big headed. That's exactly why Jamar Chase didn't even want to practice during camp. He didn't want to do anything.
yeah,
So like that's what the Bengals have to do in this offseason. What if there was not? They probably won't make playoffs for sure, but once this draft hits and offseason, that's when they need to be locked in the most. Reduce some
Mm-hmm.
money off of reconstruct Joe Burrow's contract and talk about something with Jamar Chase. And I guarantee you, they add more players,
Yeah.
their whole team will be stacked. Same thing with like Dolphins. There's so many teams that need to reconstruct everything, and it will
Yeah.
turn around
I
for
mean,
them.
we need to. Yeah, for sure.
Let's skip through Rams Saints because I mean we expected Rams to win. Eagles
Saints are boo
Ravens.
boo.
We're seeing the Eagles like still be pretty good. I
Ravens should
think
have won.
I don't
Ravens should
think
have won.
would you compare them to the Super Bowl winning Ravens of like a few years ago?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Uh, I
Nope.
mean, I wouldn't compare them. It's just, but what I sort of noticed too is that Ravens that were basically Super Bowl bound,
Mm-hmm.
that was a team that was well oiled, bro. That
Like
team, like
MVP
that
Lamar
team
year?
had it, bro. That team had almost no flaws. That team was literally
Yeah,
like pitch perfect. But what I said, but when you start to notice that how they lost some defense players, they lost their DC and all that. You could see that it would take a toll on them, because now offense is trying even harder, and then they can't even really do anything because
yeah,
everybody knows that once you go against them, it's either Andrews, Flowers, Bateman, Aguilar is going to be one of those two, so they know what to do. They know how to
Yeah.
stop him. That's what the thing with the Ravens was. But now with Eagles, it's like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if Saquon's going to go off or he's going to make some crazy plays, or you don't know
Yeah.
if AJ Brown is going to drop the ball with a
Yeah.
16
I
deep ball. You feel
mean,
me? So that's the thing with Eagles. Like they're unpredictable. Because before nobody expected
yeah.
them to be this good in the beginning of the season. But like
No.
now they're just doing insane. But it's like with the Ravens, you kind of predict like, okay, they're going to be that team that everybody's going to be talking about. That's kind of the difference between the two.
Yeah, I feel like on the beginning, on paper though, the beginning of the season when you just said like people didn't think Eagles gonna be good. On paper, they're stacked. You know, like they just got Saquon at the running back, and then at the you got the two slots at wide receiver. You got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith coming back, and then you still got that Dallas Goedert, whatever you pronounce the name, Dallas Yoder, at tight end. You know, he's consistent. Some days, some consistent, right?
Yeah.
And with Jason Kelsey leaving, it's different in the O line. But yeah, you got a good offense. And then lately Saquon's been he's been pretty consistent the past couple of games. Saquon's been good. AJ Brown, I think AJ Brown always produces though, I feel like when he plays. Because he's usually or was injured, but yeah, I feel like he's really consistent. Devontae Smith's been on and off.
They just had to
But yeah, I
adjust.
think what's up?
Like
Yeah.
the beginning of the season was like an adjustment period because
Yeah,
like the O
yeah.
line, like controlling the line of scrimmage is big, especially when you have a running back
Mm,
like Saquon who is a good runner.
mm,
And they just
yeah,
had to
and now he
adjust
has
to
a
losing
better O
Jason
line than he
Kelsey.
had in New York.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
they just had
Yeah.
to adjust to Jason Kelsey being out.
exactly. And I think that
To
they
your point
found
about
that,
the offense,
or
yeah.
exactly, yeah. And I think they're getting more used to it and accustomed to it. And then the Ravens, I believe that the Ravens should have won that game because Justin Tucker had 2 field goals that he could have made because he's Justin Tucker,
Yeah.
but he missed both, and then they would have won the game because it was a
Which is
good game.
rare too. Justin Tucker usually makes
Exactly.
field goals.
Yeah, and I was telling myself, I'm like, he's washed, he's washed. I don't want to believe that, but he missed 2 field goals and hasn't been so good this year. And
Yeah.
Lamar was getting a lot of pressure yesterday. A lot of pressure in the pocket. He didn't have any time. He
I
always
mean,
had
the
to
Eagles
scramble
defense
and
is
like
good,
throw the
to
ball on
be
the run.
honest.
They're really good. Yeah, they're young and I don't know. They don't have Hassan Reddick anymore, right?
Who?
They don't have Hassan Reddick anymore. The Eagles.
I don't think so.
I feel like
Actually,
they
They
gave him
no,
might
away.
still.
I think they do. I'm pretty sure.
But I do want to
Let
point
me
out
do that stat check.
they have Hassan Reddick is at the New York Jets right now.
Oh yeah, no, he did.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I forgot he got
But I
switched
will
over.
say, like, I think the one
Yeah.
play to highlight on on the Eagles defense is
Mhm.
DeJean,
Mhm.
the corner.
The
Did you see
yes,
him body
yes.
like pick up Derrick
Bro,
Henry, bro? Like,
bro,
you
it's
gotta
a
give him
little
some
white
credit.
boy
Yeah,
against Derrick
literally.
Henry. Holy crap. I saw that and I looked at the number like 32. Gosh damn. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeesh. Like
Like you
that was,
can't
and I did see that. It was
yeah.
nasty.
That Eagles
But
defense is good.
and that's as soon as the offseason happened with the Eagles and Ravens when they picked up 2 of the best running backs in the whole nation. That's like the game people
Yeah.
started playing on Madden was Eagles and Ravens, because they have Lamar. Then you got King Henry, and then you have Saquon and Jalen Hurts. That's like an amazing game with just superstars on offense, and it was a good game. It was just low scoring, I think, than most people expected for the game
Yeah.
to be, because both defenses are really really good. That for sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that as a Super Bowl, but I don't think they're gonna make the Super Bowl. The Ravens, I don't think they are. I think we'll get that into another discussion, but yeah,
Yeah, we'll add that later on.
It's
yeah,
technically a possible Super Bowl, but like, you know. The
possible, but
Bills
yeah,
Bills
wouldn't be.
49ers, also Bills having a pretty good defense, but like the
Yeah, and
49ers, man, the
yeah,
49ers are hurt. Like,
I was about to say that I feel really bad for the 49ers and the fans and the
like
franchise because they have an amazing team. It's always the 49ers in the top of the NFC and NFC West, but just NFC in total. It's hard. Like the Dolphins, it's hard when you lose your starting quarterback. And like Samaj just said, if you're not on top of the management, at especially quarterback, you're not gonna you're gonna lose majority of those games when your quarterback is out. Like we
And
saw with the Dolphins.
CMC is out again too. Like CMC,
6
And
like
weeks.
exactly, CMC just hurt
bro, I
himself
feel so
again,
bad for him. Like
it's hurting the team, it's hurting him, and Debo is all by himself, and I don't know what the situation is with Ayuk, but it's not looking good. Is Kittle injured too? I haven't really
no,
checked on that.
Kittle's
He's
fine.
nah, he's fine, but he had a few games where he was like a
Yeah,
little bit questionable because
Yeah, and
his
that's the same
his
thing
ankle.
again,
But
where you could have the weapons like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but if you have Skylar Thompson, Teddy Bridgewater, if you have Skylar Thompson or what's his name, Tyler
Tim
Huntley
Boy,
controlling the offense, it's not gonna go well. You need a good quarterback at backup. That's how it is. If
I
you know
think
your quarterback is bound to get injured.
honestly, because
Mm,
Brock Purdy
mm.
is like the, undebatably like the best quarterback that came out of that 2022 QB draft class.
He is
Like
because
he is
just the
the
fact that he was the
yeah,
last pick in the draft. Just that
yeah,
fact. Let's say he was picked second round, people are like, he's all right, or like,
yeah, yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's bound to happen. No one expected this. This is the last pick, the last
And
person someone took a chance on.
you don't even have to rebuild. Like
Insane.
the defense is good. I think, in
Yeah,
my opinion,
no, you
you
don't have
k-
to rebuild. It's
you make an effort to
health.
keep the defense around because the defense
Hmm
is solid, and you
They
just
are
kind
with
of
Fred Warner
you
controlling
let
and Nick Bosa.
you
yeah,
have to kind of replace the offense because the offense is very injury
You do.
prone. You have to
Yeah.
replace those pieces with
Uh huh.
younger players. Like just pick up wide
Hmm
receivers and running backs in the
hmm
draft that are
hmm
not you're not gonna get as a 49ers, you're not gonna get very high draft lottery like draft picks, but you can
Yeah.
still get like those draft picks for wide receiver and running back positions to help to not only grow in the 49ers system because the 49ers system is one of the best in the league,
Yeah.
but to also
It's
help
just a
out
shame
Brock
of what's
Purdy because
happening.
we've seen that Brock Purdy is good. You just gotta give him the
Yeah.
pieces that aren't getting hurt like every other week. So I
I
think
mean, yeah. And he
you
has
don't
the
have to
pieces for.
rebuild, you just have to give him
And you saw that last year. I mean, they pretty much have the same team almost as last year when they went to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
What was I saying? But I just thought of this. Like, let's say the 49ers want to bust the season because, like, just tank it because they're already 5-7. It's not looking really good for you if like Brock Purdy isn't coming back since like, did he just come back or no for the game that they just had? Did he already come
he
back or no?
pretty sure he did come back if
He
I'm
was
not
never
mistaken.
out,
Well,
was he?
Nah, he
yeah, he was
was.
out. He was out. Yeah. Remember when they
Well,
went against
he's back, like he
they
was
went against the
playing.
Packers for Sunday night? Something like that. Sad. But yeah, back again was that if they choose to take the season and they end the season with 5 wins, like you said, would get rid of those players that are injury prone, like CMC, because he is an injury prone player for sure. What if they could trade CMC obviously for amazing players or even picks, and tank for Ashton Gency to get that running back position?
I
That
don't think you
I
have to do
and Matt,
that.
no, 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 no.
I don't think you have to do that.
I was just about to say this. Jenny is already not projected to go
Very high.
higher than
I saw like
20s.
23 the other day.
He's not
And
projected to
and
go
if
higher
you
than that.
have 5 wins of the season,
You don't even have to
Is
tank.
a
You don't have to tank.
is exactly. But one thing that I would say is that the 49ers are lucky with this draft because they have a lot of options to pretty much get anybody as long as they're probably within like that top 15 pick mark.
they I
You could
think they'll
also
be
make
top 10.
trades because even
To
even if they're injury prone, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, and CMC all have pretty good trade value to just trade for younger guys, honestly.
They do, but I think the
but
most person I'd trade was CMC because
You
he's
just
more.
like the scouts have to do well to like scout for like good young players that like haven't reached their potential yet, and then you bring them in and develop them in the 49er system.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a thing that won't work for them because the main reason why is that the fact that you already have a bunch of players that's already probably past their peak. They're already past peak age, so they're
Yeah.
not going to try to go for players that haven't reached their peak yet. That's why if they really do try to get a running back in this draft, it will only make sense because now at least you have a safe option instead of you trying to bet on CMC all the time. You don't know if
yeah,
he's going to get hurt or
yeah,
not. And even
yeah.
then,
And
you will have
he's gonna demand a lot of
you
money.
literally have the perfect like running back to basically be a model for whoever that rookie is. That's why it would be
Yeah.
smart for them to just keep
Yep.
CMC. You keep CMC, because he's not even a problem. It's just the fact that he so happens to get hurt. With Debo, now that's the other problem because they try to use Debo too much. Debo should not be trying to take back kicks. He should not be trying to take back punts, or he should not even be trying to do too many special plays on offense.
Running back,
That
wide receiver.
Debo is he's not a problem. It's just the fact that they're making him a problem. They're trying to use him too much. That's why with them it will easily be smart to receiver or running back. That's the two easiest things that they can draft for this upcoming draft. That's literally what they should do. Because if they don't, they're going to be stuck. They're probably going to draft somebody on defense or probably draft another tackle, and then they're literally going to be sit there stuck because then somebody else gets hurt. That's what's going to be bad for them. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't say you would trade anybody. It's just more of you got to be smart to where if you do pick up somebody that's basically close to their peak in college, that's where you will want to keep like the role model basically, because you
Yeah.
can't
Like
have
a vet.
like a Bryce. Yeah, you can't have like a Bryce Young moment. You feel me? You can't freaking just
Yeah.
draft him and then put him in right away. That's
Exactly.
the thing that 49ers will have to do because they already have everything that they need. They just need younger players.
Yeah.
I gotta go to sleep soon, guys. So, like, let's just go to like the game that just happened, that just finished like
Oh
a
my
couple of
gosh,
minutes
bro, that
ago.
game was insane.
Broncos versus Browns. Broncos winning 41-32. I'm surprised that
Game
the
was
Browns
insane.
have been as good as they have been now with like Jameis
Jameis
Winston,
Winston.
and that probably means
But
that
that,
what's his name?
wow.
What's
What
his
a
name again?
game.
Deshaun
Oh,
Watson.
for the
Deshaun
Broncos?
Watson. Deshaun Watson
Oh,
is like done,
he's a
but like
problem. Yeah, he's done, man.
Jameis
Sadly,
Winston,
the
like
dog is happening.
for the Broncos defense, I think this is one of like both the best and the worst games, ironically, because Jameis Winston had almost 500 yards passing with like 4
He did,
touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions, which is
and
crazy.
that's the thing. It was the closing of the third quarter, and it was 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and I'm guessing he threw back-to-back picks that really cost them the game. But again, 3 yards away from
Yo,
500 yards,
yo, yo,
insane.
yo, yo, yo. Jerry Jeudy, 9 receptions, 235
Yeah,
yards.
yep,
That's
yep. I saw that.
crazy.
That is insane.
That is
Where's Jerry at? Hold on.
crazy.
Oh, he's on the Browns. I forgot. There we go.
With
Holy
like a 70
crap!
yards being the longest
235
one.
yards. That's like Jamar Chase a couple weeks ago when
Yeah.
he had 260.
Nah, 93 yards was their longest one.
Damn.
I mean,
You know what's
credit to
funny,
the
boys?
Broncos for staying in it because the Broncos, Bo Nix only had 18 completions with almost 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So like, I'm telling
Yeah,
you, this
Bo
Broncos
Nix.
defense is good, bro. This Broncos
Yeah,
defense is it.
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
what
but
did they
and
play? Lions or Eagles? Well, we're not gonna talk
Well,
it's
about them.
funny though.
yeah, but still, like,
It's funny though, cause Jerry Judy just got traded during midseason from the Broncos to Browns, and now look what he did. He's like, all right, bet 235 yards on your ass, you know.
yeah,
And Elijah Moore also, you can't deny not acknowledge him. 111 yards, pretty good. David Njoku had 2 touchdown catches, but yeah, Jameis Winston almost 500 yards for 58 attempts. Yeah, that's good. And then Marvin Mims Jr. 105 yards, touchdown. Portland Sutton 102 yards. Those are the only guys who like carried the team really.
but I think you do have to give credit to the Broncos defense because they had 2 pick sixes that like, I
Yes.
mean, without those 2
Yeah.
pick sixes, then you wouldn't have won this game, literally. So
No, they wouldn't have because yeah,
significant
man.
credit has to go to them, I think.
I mean, but that to be honest, that's what wins them games. They literally only
Yeah,
win games because of defense. So
Yeah.
that's what they're
because Bo Nix is a
that's
rookie.
where
Like,
everything comes from. But
Even
it's
though
not
the
even the
rookie,
fact that
he's done
of
pretty good this year. 8 and
Knicks
5
being a
Broncos.
rookie.
Oh,
It's just like
wow,
with the
that's impressive.
Broncos have really had gotten to a point to where no matter how hard they try, something bad is bound to happen to them. That's what the problem is.
yeah,
Because It's like, bro, like Broncos, they're not even a bad team. They're honestly probably well rounded. It's the fact that like now it's like the opposite of a Bryce Young moment. You put a rookie QB in, and then now the team is doing great and stuff like that. But you didn't add anything to the offense that could have helped them because if
Yeah.
I guarantee if they had a little bit more weapons on offense, bro, they were honestly probably be a top 5 team in the league. Honestly,
I'm sure
because
that'll happen for next year though. Like,
no, I mean but the only problem with that though is that it would be some teams that like that should be high in the draft, like that should have this draft pick, whatever, but they don't. That's why like the
yeah.
Raiders and Giants have like those high picks because some other teams like they just either just don't deserve them or they didn't get what they actually deserve. That's kind of why. So what with Broncos, they're honestly not a bad team. They're possibly I wouldn't say a Super Bowl contender, but they're for sure a conference championship contender.
Yeah.
Only because like they've done good. It's just like bro with Browns they're still developing. They still have a lot to work on. So I can't say like they honestly played better. It was more of two teams that have gone through like they're still going through development, just testing the waters. That's kind of how that game was at first. So but I would say probably like after this season, that's when we'll see both teams actually like start to dominate because I know some
Yeah.
of these good teams right now they probably won't even be the same next year. So that
To
we'll
finish up
see.
here, you guys think that the Browns stick with Jameis Winston next year or go back to Deshaun Watson?
They're gonna stick
No,
with Winston, bro. Only like first off, you got to go with the younger player the way. You have to go with the younger
Yeah.
player. That's the smartest decision. But
nah, yeah.
with Watson, it's like, bro, we've seen Watson on a decline ever since he
But
got into
again,
the
they
league,
paid
bro.
him so much
Like
money.
and then that too, like he's already an easy target
Yeah.
for money. Like you get rid of all of that, guarantee you will have way more money than needed to get other people.
Yeah, but you don't need him on. You don't
That's
need
what
him
the
on your team.
Browns have to do. Because I don't really don't see a point of them putting Watson back on the team, bro. Get rid of him. Like there's really no point in you keeping him at all.
Yeah.
No point. But there's some moments that like sometimes general managers or just teams in general make retarded like moves that just makes no sense to me. Like sometimes in the NFL draft, like when I'm watching and I like have my mock draft ready, I'm like, okay, like for example, like a couple years ago when they lost Rodgers, I'm like, okay, let's see if they get a wide receiver to help Rodgers or help Jordan Love, whatever, right? And they take
Yeah.
like a D tackle. I'm like, what are they doing? like it's just stupid things, and I don't know if this is gonna be a moment where the Browns are stupid again and they just keep Deshaun Watson just because, or whatever reason they have for that. But I agree so much. I would keep Jameis by Watson because they pay him way too much money for him to just be broke, for him to just be injured every time, or dealing with a lawsuit of abusing a woman. Like you
Yeah.
don't need him
Like
on
that's
your team, bro.
insane.
It's hurting a lot. It's hurting your own team. You shouldn't have him. So
It's been a good week, Lorenzo. I think with you on the podcast, I feel a lot more energy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking the conversation, like three-way. Um, we're gonna do this. Uh, we're probably gonna do this.
time out. Time.
We're probably gonna wait until next week, until after all the bowl games, and after. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the
talk
Christmas.
about it for
I can't
sure.
wait until we have that Christmas game between Chiefs and
I don't
Steelers.
want Christmas to end. I want Christmas every day, man.
But I think next week we'll only really have to do a CFB game unless there's like some huge news in NFL because it'll
Um,
be all the bowl games that we can focus on.
Yeah, the bowl games will be after the. Yeah, I
The
mean,
thing is, the sooner
unless
we're
we could
done with
talk to.
CFB, the better because like both of these videos we recorded today, because we now have three people on, they're longer because we have more to
Mm,
say.
Yeah, no, that's
So we
true.
do have to
I mean, I
account for
guess we could
that.
do like a mini little episode for like 20 minutes max of just talking about the new AP poll that they'll release later this week.
yeah,
Yeah,
that I was just gonna
Because
say that.
it's gonna be a super important
I would have
one
time for
for
that.
sure.
Just
Yeah, I
you guys
gotta
are gonna have
see.
to wait a little bit for these episodes to come out because tomorrow I might not have that much time to edit. So
what's
they might
your
come out a
what's
little
your
late.
schedule look like tomorrow, Mew?
Yeah, he'll
Tomorrow,
be alright, bro. He'll be alright.
What
tomorrow
do
I
you look
got
like,
straight
Mew?
classes from 11 to like. Wait, let me end the episode and then I'll
Damn.
explain. Thank you guys for watching the NFL episode of Sideline Surge. I'm loving Lorenzo being here. Obviously, we will have more conversational topics on our podcast, hopefully. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm ending the podcast. See you guys.
This man.